In this video, we are going to solve by elimination. So we're still solving system of equations, but this time we're going to do it by elimination. So if you open up your foldable, you should see that example 5 says solve the linear system using the elimination method. And we are given 4x minus 3y equals 5 and negative 2x plus 3y equals negative 7. So the main part of this process is that we are adding these two equations together. And our goal is to eliminate a variable in the process. So if I were to add these two together, 4x minus 2x is 2x. Negative 3y plus 3y, well, negative 3y plus 3y is 0. So we've just eliminated the y variable. And then 5 minus 7 is negative 2. So we are then left with 2x equals negative 2. We can divide both sides by 2. And we get x equals negative 1. I now need to plug x equals negative 1 into either one of the equations to solve for y. So I'm going to choose to use the second equation. So I'm going to do negative 2 times negative 1. I just put in negative 1 for x. Plus 3y equals negative 7. So negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2, plus 3y equals negative 7. I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. 3y equals negative 9. And then if I divide by 3 on both sides, I get that y equals negative 3. So right now, I've said that my solution set is negative 1, comma, negative 3. That the x equals negative 1 and the y equals negative 3. But I want to check that really fast. So again, I need to plug in the answer I got into one of the equations. So let's try the first equation this time. So 4 times negative 1, plug negative 1 in for x, minus 3 times negative 3 equals 5. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9 equals 5. Negative 4 plus 9 is 5. 5 equals 5. Looks like we did it right. Please pause the video and, actually no, don't pause. This one's a little different. So we have 7x minus 2y equals 5 and 7x minus 3y equals 4. If we were to try to add these together right now, nothing would be eliminated. Positive 7x plus positive 7x is 14x. Negative 2y plus negative 3y is negative 5y. So we don't lose a variable there. What we can do is use the multiplication property of equality and multiply both sides of one of the equations by, say, a negative 1, so that this one becomes negative 7x, so that we can eliminate the x variables. So if I multiply the second equation by negative 1 on both sides, my new equation, which is still equivalent to this one, is negative 7x plus 3y equals negative 4. So now I can take that and add in the first equation. So I'm going to rewrite the first equation down here. Minus 2y equals 5. And I'm going to add these together. So again, this is my first equation. This is my second equation that I changed by using the multiplication property of equality and multiplying both sides by negative 1. Negative 7x plus 7x is 0. 3y plus 2y, or sorry, this should be a negative. Oh no, that's a plus. This is a negative 2. Negative 2. So positive 3y, because the negative 1 times this negative sign, positive 3y minus 2y is just 1y. And then negative 4 plus positive 5 is positive 1. So right off the bat, we get that y equals 1. And I need to plug this into one of the original equations. So let's plug it into the first one. 7x minus 2 times 1 equals 5. 7x minus 2 equals 5. I add 2 to both sides. 7x equals 7. Divide both sides by 7. And I get that x also equals 1. Well, let's check and make sure that works. Let's plug it in to our original first equation. So we have 7 times 1 minus 3 times 1 equals 4. 7 times 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 does in fact equal 4, so our answer is 1, 1. The x is 1, the y value is 1. So it's a little tricky on that one. Example 7 is a little different from example 6. So on example 6, we had to multiply by -1 because we already had that the x variables had the same coefficient. We just needed to make one the opposite coefficient so that they canceled out and made a 0. On this one, I have a 4x and an x, a 3y and a -2y, so I can't multiply by just -1. I need to multiply by a number that's going to make it so that I can eliminate one of the variables. So I'm going to say that we multiply number 2, so this is 1, this is 2, that we multiply equation number 2 by -4. If we do that, we'll have a -4 on this outside. There's a number of different possibilities you can use for this one, but I'm going to choose -4. So let's write it over here so we don't get confused. -4 times x minus 2y, that's one side of the equation, and then 13 times -4. If I distribute this -4 to both terms, I get -4x plus 8y equals, and then -4 times 13 is -52. So this is now my modified second equation. So I can add this one to my first equation and have the x variable eliminated. So let's rewrite equation number 1. And we will get that this is 0 plus 11y equals -52 plus 8 is -44. So I get 11y equals -44. I divide both sides by 11. Y equals -4. So now I can plug y equals -4 back into one of the other equations. So let's plug it into equation number 1. 4 times x plus 3 times -4 needs to equal 8. 4x minus 12 equals 8. Add 12 to both sides. 4x equals 20. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 5. So right now our solution set should be that x equals 5 and y equals -4. Let's double check to make sure that that worked. Let's plug them both into equation number 2. So if I put 5 in for x and -4 in for y, this is my second equation, x minus 2y equals 13. I now have 5 minus 2 times -4 equals 13. I get 5 plus 8 equals 13. 13 does in fact equal 13. So our solution set was correct. The answer is 5, -4. We're going to go over a few more of these today. Please rewind and review the video if need be, and see if you can understand the difference between the 3 different examples. The difference between what I did in example 5, what I did in example 6, and what I did in example 7. Even better yet, if you can explain why I did that, you'd really understand what's going on with this process. So we'll see you tomorrow in class.